What's up, guys? Shema kurwa. Yeah, I'm here now to... What's up, guys? Or Shema kurwa. I'm here reviewing the... What's up, guys? Here for another weapon review. Just the other day, Ubisoft released the latest limited edition pack. Very disappointing. We'll get into that in a bit. It is the GI Special Edition Far Cry pack. Now, these are very similar to the Modmaster ones, obviously, so I won't be spending that much time on this. But if you check the stats, here are the differences, right? That's a long barrel, 54, 650, 89, 64. So the difference, there are three stats that are different with a long barrel. This one has the N27 HSPF has 2 more damage per bullet, 1 more accuracy, and 2 more control. So yeah, I mean, this is actually a pretty good assault rifle, all in all. For me, it lacks fire rate, and that sound, it just sounds terrible. But is this a good assault rifle? Yeah, it's pretty good, and it's got the 55% armor piercing, slightly more than other models. Do you absolutely need this assault rifle to be competitive? Not really. I actually still prefer the Mark 16 Black. I like the way it sounds more. I like the way it feels more. None of the GI weapons sound very good to me. But yeah, I mean, this is super controllable. It's got the highest control rating of any assault rifle available right now. And yeah, you can full auto without any problems at 100 meters, more or less. And yeah, it's pretty good. I personally wouldn't, even though I did do it, I wouldn't recommend that you waste your money trying to get this one, because not really worth it in my opinion. But also something that it lacks is burst fire. I like weapons with burst fire, so personally I wouldn't recommend getting this, but that's up to you. The shotgun, don't bother. How do I know? I haven't even used this particular version because it's got a 70 fire rate. That's awful. If you do want to use the M500H, use the Modmaster with a short barrel. I've been using it a fair bit recently, and it's very effective. The 25% armor piercing is quite nice. 140 fire rate, that's twice the special edition fire rate for not that much less damage. If you're going to use a shotgun or want to try out the tier 10 ones, this is the way to go, I think. It gives you the fire rate and pretty good damage, and I've been doing pretty well with it. But I would absolutely not waste my money on this thing. Look at the 70 fire rate for that damage. The damage is what, 26, 25 more than the Modmaster? Not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. Does it have accuracy? Well, okay, it does, but who cares? I mean, look, the fire rate. You are dead. Kill one enemy and then you are dead. No point. Absolutely no point. Recon. Yeah, both the Recon weapons are pretty good. The sniper, well, if you're into the whole short barrel and grip setup, it's not that good. But look at that damage. It's got a very good reload time, and despite that, it has just massive damage. I mean, you can pretty much body shot anything, even at range. That 165 on ballistic armor. And even at longer ranges, 161. So pretty much everything's going to die. Not everyone has ballistic or the right damage mitigation, so you're actually going to be doing more if you go up against something without ballistic. That said, a lot of people, this probably actually is my preference too, is the M24H with a grip and a short barrel, just because, settle time and things like that. So yeah, still a solid choice. The special edition, it's not absolutely necessary. As far as the MP5H SDE Far Cry is concerned, honestly, it has a silencer. That's its claim to fame, and 1 more control. And it's got less damage and thus less DPS. Don't bother. You can build a better MP5H with the Modmaster, unless you have a silencer fetish, and I know some people who do. This isn't really worth getting compared to the Modmaster, which will give you better DPS and slightly less control, but you're not going to feel the difference in control. And yeah, the DPS is slight, but it's still an advantage having 1 more damage. So yeah, Solid weapons for the Recon, but I really wouldn't bother with the special edition, limited edition SMG. Support. Oh, yeah, support. What to think about this? The MK5 HSPF, it's the fire rate's just too slow. It's got really high damage per bullet, 66, and it's super controllable. There's basically no recoil. Right? You can full auto pretty. It's not quite Type 95, but it's almost. And the reason why it's not quite is because basically the fire rate, the Type 95 has a much better fire rate, but the damage, you can see at super long ranges, you can still do a lot of damage. A 90 headshot at that range. It's pretty good, but honestly, I still would, for a lot of situations, I would personally prefer this is probably my favorite still, the M240 SP Halloween. It just has a lot higher DPS, and it's not nearly as controllable, and certainly at long range, I'd probably be less inclined to use it. But for short, medium range maps, this is probably still my go-to LMG, and of course the Rainbow Edition and MG36H Rainbow Edition, really good too, and I think also a better choice because of the better DPS and fire rate. The Special Edition or the Modmaster GI weapon is just, it just feels weird. None of the weapons, apart from the SMG, really feel good, and maybe the sniper. It's just the fire rate's too slow, the sound sucks. Overall, pretty disappointing weapons. And on a final note, no thank you. On a final note, I think that this game is just dying slowly because the company or Ubisoft isn't investing properly. I mean, this game is definitely more or less pay to win. It's the economy model of the game. You have to keep on buying new weapons. Well, you don't have to this time because the weapons kind of suck compared to some of the Tier 9 Special Edition, but they don't make new maps. The servers are always dying every day. Once a day, a server just dies, and then you have to wait an hour. Just so many problems, and so I'm at the point where I'll probably keep playing for a little bit, but I'm going to see what's going to happen because it just seems like they're just milking money off of people, including myself, and not really improving the game. And that might be because they don't have enough staff. That might be because Ubisoft, the high-ups, they're saying, don't do this, don't improve this, we need you to work on other projects. I don't know what the deal is, but at the end of the day, for me at least, the consequences are the same because, frankly speaking, they're not improving the game. The mechanics aren't being improved. The weapons, this is just lazy. They could make the effort to make new weapon models. It doesn't have to be called the actual thing. You don't need a license for that. Or they could just use different ones. I mean, why not? Why didn't they? What I would love to see, for example, is the MG4 Tier 10. This thing is just has amazing control and amazing and relative to fire rate, that is. And you wouldn't use it now because it sucks compared to the weapons, but I mean it's got burst mode, a really nice burst mode, probably the best burst mode of any, in my opinion, of any light machine gun. I would love to see, if you're going to be lazy and just do reskins, a reskin of this Tier 10. As far as final recommendations to Ubisoft, as far as SMGs are concerned, what would I see? I'd like to see CBJ MS. Maybe do an SP version, keep the medium barrel, put a grip on. So right now with a muzzle brake, it's 49 damage with 630 fire rate. Up the 30 rate of the fire rate to maybe 730, and increase the damage to maybe 52, and you'd have a really solid gun with very high damage and pretty good fire rate. I'd like to see that. Assault rifles, ACR would be really, really nice, I think, a special version of that. It's got solid control with a long barrel and a bipod, the highest control, absolutely, actually. And it doesn't sound like absolute shit compared to some of the other weapons. This would be a really nice assault rifle. Obviously, that's a cool sound. Got a good burst mode too. I like weapons with burst mode. It just sounds a lot cooler than the GI weapons. So this would be a nice one. I would look forward to seeing that. Or for that matter, any of the others, a proper F2000 tier 10. How about an M28 tier 10? Buff the shit out of that. We'll see. My point is, you could do a lot better than GI Weapons, Ubisoft, and I mean, you guys know how much money I paid you already. I just feel like you're failing me and failing all the other paying customers, because these weapons are just, yeah, you can use them, but they're nothing special. They're really nothing to look forward to, and the game just isn't improving. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. I'll check you guys out later. Take care. What's up, guys? Shima Kurva. I'm making this video as an addendum because basically I made my review of the GI limited edition weapons, and I had some criticisms to make, lack of maps, etc. And all of a sudden, a couple hours later, I find out that they're working on this thing called Project Topos. Now, apparently, according to them, I'll post a link in the description box, there are going to be 5 new beta maps in update 1.35, which is, I guess, coming sometime in April. You can see it. There's an there's an airport map, which is a conquest map. There is a mansion onslaught map. I'm not really clear what the difference between onslaught and conquest is really, but whatever. Maybe it's something in between holdout and conquest. Something called Bazaar, which is very similar to Peshawar. Fair enough. Moonlight, Onslaught. I think Onslaught must be something shorter than Conquest. I'm not really sure, though. Raven Watch, Military Factory, etc. So 5 new beta maps. Now, yeah, you could get really excited and say, well, new maps, they're definitely finally following through on their promises. But bear in mind that these are only going to be beta. They're only going to be available in custom and clan matches. And, given the fact that they never finished rural, what are the chances that they're actually going to finish this? So I think you should take this with a grain of salt. I mean, they say, note, all these prototype maps are still in early stages of development. There will be bugs and glitches. What we're more interested in is in feedback regarding gameplay and the map's general fun factor. So who knows when these are actually going to be finished, and who knows how many of them they're actually going to implement. So let's say, people really like, I don't know, Mansion. So they might only release Mansion. They might say, well, there wasn't that much positive feedback from Airport. I mean, we need more than 1 new map. But the reality is we might just get 1. We could get all 5, but anyway, for those of you who don't know, new beta maps, which isn't a big deal to me because, frankly, I don't do a whole lot of clan wars or custom matches. So, yeah, it's kind of almost irrelevant to me, unless they actually introduce it in the real game. But we'll see. So, yeah, that's it. Just wanted to add a little thing to the other part of the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.